It is a Friday afternoon. This is unusual, but I thought it was necessary only because this weather system that you're looking at now has dropped a few scattered sprinkles and sort of frightened some weekenders in the Bay Area and in California because it is going to bring a chance for more scattered showers. What we saw today, San Jose, 2/10 or 200ths of an inch, trace amounts, zero point zero 0.01. Northern California, same thing. We'll look at those rain totals, but they're very light. So what do you do? Because I know there's a lot of parties. I'm sure there's more than a few weddings. I mean, so if you're very concerned, it's understandable. But I think for the most part, especially Sunday, you're fine. Saturday, tomorrow is the day in question. So what I thought I'd do is get the latest HRRR fine resolution model, and we'll kind of just go through it real slow. And you can look and see where you live, and just keep your eyes right on that spot, and then we'll push it through, and then you can get an idea for what you can expect tomorrow. And then tomorrow morning, I'll swing by here early and get something going, and we'll look at it again because I know it's one of those weekends. This is a big one, and so let's move forward here. We've got the satellite loop, and what's unique about this weather system? It's got a lot of dynamics. Doesn't have a lot of moisture with it. If this had a moisture attachment to it, like a lot, like a kind of an atmospheric river component, we get a lot of rain. We get a lot of snow. It'd be really a news story. But there's not a ton of moisture available. This is Mount Shasta. They've had a few sprinkles up there earlier today, but just trace amounts, not measurable. And the thing to notice here is everything's coming this way. It's wrapping around. Remember that picture we just looked at where the satellite loop is going like this? Well, that's these clouds. Normally, everything's going this way, right? Kind of coming from the northwest or moving in that direction. Everything's moving up from the valley, coming around the backside of the mountain and out off the coast. So Mount Shasta today, relatively dry, but this is how it looks in Northern California and most of California today. And temperatures have definitely gone much cooler than they were just a couple of days ago. Here are some of the rain totals. That 0.34 is up in Oregon, but you can see you've got, Crescent City, 0.13, Redding, nothing, 0.03. These totals are exactly what I expect tomorrow. In other words, when it rains and sprinkles and showers, is that enough to shut you down? 0.04 seems like a lot when you're outside in it, but it's less than 1/10 of an inch. So, do you cancel plans? I don't think you do. I think you just man up or woman up or whatever you do and just power through it because tomorrow's that day. Sunday's a solid day in terms of don't sweat it, but tomorrow is going to be a little more volatile, but Sunday's less. Okay, so here's the model. Here we are. Let me bring it right to where we are now. So right about here. This is the HRRR, and what we're looking at this is a little different than when we look at sea level pressure, precipitation. This is more simulated radar reflectivity. So that's fine. We can use it the same way. And so you'll see the rotation, which we're familiar with. This is this afternoon, and you can kind of see what we got. And that's kind of what we're getting, right? A few scattered showers out towards Livermore Valley. I see something. Depends where you are. Like up here at Cape Mendocino, a lot of this stuff is wrapping around. See how it wraps back around like this? And that's a tough forecast, by the way, right? So it's wrapping around. And what I said this morning, I mentioned this morning, but when I'm going to draw this through here. I'm going to draw four corners on these storms. You can do this with every extratropical storm, essentially. This quadrant down here, that's where the dynamics are. So that's why there's a chance for thunderstorms. Well, and that's why we are seeing a little bit more development in that zone, right? It's that low track south. So keep moving on. So here we are right now at tomorrow morning early. Now this is where it gets a little sketchy. Find your spot. Find out where you are. I know you're in Paradise. You got the Gold Nugget Parade. I know there's a number of local community events going on all over the state. But you can see, right, especially down around San Luis Obispo. Looks pretty wet down there. Cayucas. Yeah. Cambria. Even Big Sur, just south of Big Sur, San Simeon. Right, that looks aggressive. Northern California, that's you guys, Chico, Paradise, Red Bluff, Redding. Is that a lot of rain? Not really. No, it shouldn't be a lot of rain, but it's going to be enough that it'll kind of that could make it difficult to throw a great party outside. But again, it's hard to say. right? So pick your spot. That footprint up in northeastern California, this thing up in here, that looks super aggressive. And I suspect, I'm not sure what we're looking at here in terms of how much rain is going to come out. I think it's being a little more aggressive than it's going to be, but let's see how it dissipates when it gets into that back quadrant. And then some showers spread through the Bay Area. And then Sunday, you're out of it. So back it up again. So this is tomorrow, right? What do you do with it? I'm not changing my plans. If you're in, like if you're, I'll back this up. If you're right here, this is tomorrow afternoon, just find yourself, that's who, everything north of Marin County might be a little bit of an issue. You can see that line, right? So this area looks to be more in question. This is going to change, by the way, up in here. Everything south looks a little more manageable, especially in the Bay Area. But what we'll do is we'll get up early tomorrow and we'll look at it again. The later updated models. So they update, right? And so the more fresh it is, the better off we'll be. It'll have changed its mind. You bet it will. So don't freak out yet. Again, would it be a lot of rain? No. Would it be some rain? Yeah, for sure. Okay, I'll see you back here. That's just a quick update. See you back here tomorrow morning.